Right, so we're here with, I suppose, project leader really and manager of the new Brabham project, David Brabham. Afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, how are you, okay?
Yes, very well, thank you. Busy, but yeah.
I can imagine so. So let's start off with the main reason why you're here at Autosport, Project Brabham, of course. So you want to get the Brabham name back into motorsport, as it's sort of faded over the last few years. I think that'd be fair to admit.
Absolutely.
So tell us about how exactly you've been doing it by crowdfunding.
Sure, I mean, it really depends how far you want to go back. It's nearly 10 years ago, actually, when I thought, what am I going to do when I retire? 10 years down the road. And what can we do with the name Brabham? And started to look at it and then realized that we didn't own it. Somebody else had owned it. So it took about 7 years in the German courts to actually get the name back, which was a bit of an episode. But we did. I got it back, and then it was a case of, okay, now what do we do with Brabham? And I always wanted to see the name back as a race team in the sport, because that's what it is. Brabham is a race team, and it's always been a successful one. But racing today in today's market and doing the same thing like everybody else didn't appeal to me. So we saw an opportunity to come and do something different. So Brabham's coming back. It's opening the doors of a race team to give fans the opportunity to really get close to the action. There's no secrets. That's just not part of our DNA in this project. So people get access. We're building a digital platform called Brabham Digital for fans, drivers and engineers. We can create lots of learning environments through our team. So people around the world can learn about motorsport, learn about engineering. If you're a driver anywhere in the world, you'll get 30 years of my knowledge and experience on a web application. And it really is it's a knowledge sharing platform with e-learning as well. So it's exciting times for Brabham because we're coming back with a new idea. No one's doing it, and we've got the name to carry it off.
Brilliant, okay, and it's certainly been successful so far. You've obviously reached your first target as well of £250,000, with the eye, of course, of going to LMP1 in Le Mans, isn't it?
Eventually, yeah. I mean, obviously when we launched it through crowdfunding. Really wanted to gauge the reaction, see if people like the idea, get some seed capital, get some money to start the ball rolling. And of course it was a phenomenal success. We reached our target of, we got 279,000, which was fantastic. 64 countries have contributed to it. And it really does show that people do want this type of model. And now we're moving to the next stage of going out and getting the big investment to make it a reality. But it's been an incredible journey so far, and the response from not just the fans but the media as well have been really, really positive.
Brilliant. Okay. So is the main aim just for Le Mans or for the World Endurance Championship? Are you aiming for maybe a return to, dare I say it, Formula One in the future?
Yeah, the plan is to go World Endurance Championship. It's a championship I know. I've been in it. Because this is a global program, we need to be on a world stage. In terms of racing on a global stage, it's one of the cheaper options, I guess. And it gives an opportunity to grow the team, eventually to do LMP1. The goal is to win Le Mans. And then further down the road is eventually to see Brabham back in Formula One.
Well, sounds like it could be potentially a very realistic opportunity, and it sounds like you guys are definitely going the right way about it. And like I say, it's been very successful to date. So I'm here with my friend Alex, by the way. You got anything you want to ask?
You've chosen the World Endurance Championship as your aim. Obviously, it's a very inclusive of fans championship. I'm a big fan of it. Been to the races, back at the paddock. So those fans are going to know, when are they going to see a Brabham car on track?
When are they going to see a Brabham car, or
when? Or at least a Brabham liveried car.
Yeah, the plan is to be racing in 2015.
Okay.
Which part of 2015 will all depend on investment. The sooner we get it, the sooner we go racing. If you're looking at realistic time frames, we would like to think that we could have a race team up and running towards the end of this year. So we're preparing for next year, which is 2016. So we would have liked to have been our first race at Le Mans, but there is a slim chance. Realistically, I would think that we need to get up and running, test all the systems, go out and do 2-3 races in the World Endurance Championship this year, and then be prepared well for 2016.
Okay. And would it be a Brabham designed car that you would be competing in, or would it be a customer car that the team would be racing?
No, to begin with, it'd be a big customer car, because to build your own car at this stage, that's another big project that we just couldn't do. So it's very easy for us to go out and buy a car that's already running, and it's the quickest and easiest solution for us to go racing.
Okay. Now, obviously, you said you've raced in sports cars for many years, of course, and also you were in Formula One as well. Of course, in 1994 with obviously the tragic death of your teammate Roland Ratzenberger. So, just tell us about Formula One briefly, then. So, how did the deal come about with SimTech? And I mean, I hate to ask you, but what effect did Roland's death have on the SimTech team and yourself?
Sure. Well, 94 was a difficult year for many reasons. One, it was a new team. I went there really because I had experience in Formula One in 1990, and I'd been driving for Jaguar and Toyota in sports cars, and so they were looking for a driver with experience, which was me. I had, I think, 6 or 7 teammates that year, all bringing funds to try and keep the thing afloat. And of course, third race in, we lost Roland, which was a devastating blow for everybody involved, not just our team, but Formula One and in general. This is obviously before the Sunday when Senna died, which was a much bigger affair than Roland. But from a team point of view and a personal point of view, we'd never experienced losing someone, so we had no idea what to do, what to think, what to say. Just had your mind goes blank, you're numb, in shock. I raced on the Sunday. I felt that was the quickest and best way to get the team refocused and get going, not losing sight of the fact we just lost a driver. I knew Roland well enough to know that he would have wanted us to race if it was safe, and it lifted the team a little bit, tiny bit, but it got the ball rolling again. And they were not easy times. It changed Formula One that weekend for the better. Things got a lot safer for the driver in terms of helmet design and harness devices and protective side pieces. When you look back then, the monocoque came up just where the shoulder was. There's no head protection whatsoever. So the cockpit started to grow, and padding on the sides, and the research and money that the FIA put into safety, large sums of money went into improving the safety of drivers and the cars and the fans, and the racetracks started to all change. And although they lost a bit of character, I must admit, from a safety point of view, a lot came from that weekend.
That's, quite right as well. I mean, countless drivers, of course, over the years, Felipe Massa, of course, and the like, obviously owe their lives to modern Formula One safety standards, it has to be said. So then, just to conclude, of course, Brabham were in Formula One, of course, for the 60s and 70s, and obviously, and the 80s as well, of course.
A little bit of the 90s.
And a little bit of the 90s as well, of course, with Damon Hill and yeah, it's true. And the female driver as well, Giovanna Marti. That's it. I have a name. I forget that. But and of course, Jack was the only driver, or is the only driver still in history to win a Formula One World Championship with his own run team. Yeah, of course. So obviously, the championship's the aim for the WEC. Would you potentially look into developing a car in the future, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Part of our program is to build an LMP1 car, but using a community of engineers around the world to help develop it. So we are looking at some software at the moment that would allow us to have what we call collaborative design, because it's an open source platform that we're running. and we can create a learning environment through that as well, working with education. So we can build the first LMP1 Brabham car, but done by a community of engineers. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think Alex and I would like to wish you. Oh, hang on a second.
If I may butt in again.
Go on, that's all right.
To win Le Mans in LMP1,
Yeah.
you've obviously got to beat the likes of Audi, Toyota, Porsche, and this year Nissan. And we've seen Rebellion and Lotus, or CSM, is it, have a go at LMP1, sort of privateer-wise, building their own cars. And they've struggled a little bit this year, it's fair to say.
Yep.
Where do you aim to picture? Are you going to turn up as Brabham as a manufacturer equal to Audi, Porsche, Nissan?
To be at that level, we would have to have a manufacturer partner to be able to achieve that, which is not impossible. If you think of the way we are going about our racing and the potential marketing platform for a manufacturer through our potential audience, it might make sense to do something with Brabham where we do an LMP1 together. Like I said, this opens up a whole new world of commercial opportunities, and I think it's a more of a compelling story to present to a manufacturer to do, Le Mans type racing, but using our model. So that would be the plan. You could do a Rebellion for sure. You'd be competing against Rebellion, which is, might be the first step, but obviously to go to the bigger boys. And if you look at my career, I've always driven for small teams doing big things. So that excites me. Yeah. So if I can go up against the big boys and have a chance.
To say you'll have a lot of fans. A lot of people are fans of the underdog.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Yeah, and I've always enjoyed that. I've always found that more interesting as a driver. To be in an environment where you have to dig so deep to perform miracles, and when you do, boy, they feel good. You know what I mean? I think our team in the future can very much do that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think Alex and I would like to wish you the very best of successes with Project Brabham. We're now parts of the team as well,
right,
of course. Well.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, welcome to the team.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we'd like to wish you the very best of success, and hopefully we'll get the chance to catch up in the future.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Cheers.